about end of life, number one, Jesus Christ is the place to start. But after that, and the physical life, as opposed to your eternal life, it ought to be done within the family and considered a religious and ethical issue and not something that politicians deal with.
The pain of loss. Two women just in absolute despair. There's nothing left for me, she cries. They killed 13 members of my family. A nearby hospital, children who lived through a nightmare, but their injuries testify to the horror of what happened. The pieces of the bombs that fell from the sky in the early evening. Devastation and ruins, the aftermath of an air bombardment that it seems showed no discretion in whom was killed.
I don't know how many members of my family are dead. All I know is that lots of people died.
Cheney says lives were saved. Is it worth doing waterboarding, keeping them up late in cold rooms, stressed positions to save lives? Is it worth it, sir?
We should not have a government program that determines you're going to pull the plug on grandma. Thank you all very much for coming.
Newsweek magazine is reporting that a secret 2004 report reveals that interrogators use mock executions to intimidate prisoners.
CIA interrogators, whether they're contractors or CIA staff officers, brandished a gun in front of this guy in an effort to frighten him, and also took a power drill in front of him and turned it on and went bzzz, implying therefore that they're going to use it on him.
We should not have a government program that determines you're going to pull the plug on grandma.
I realize that many Americans have grown nervous about reform. So tonight I want to address some of the key controversies that are still out there. There are also those who claim that our reform efforts would ensure illegal immigrants. This too is false. The reforms I'm proposing would not apply to those who are here illegally.
The terrorists attacked us and killed 3,000 of our citizens before we started the freedom agenda in the Middle East. What did Iraq have to do with what?
The attack on the World Trade Center.
Nothing, except for it's part of, and nobody's ever suggested in this administration that Saddam Hussein ordered the attack.
From the CNN poll, we're not making this up, it's right from CNN.com. 43% of Americans still believe that Saddam Hussein was personally involved in the September 11th attacks on this country. 43%! Right now! In September of 2006, 5 years later. That is a stunning number! 43% of Americans are dead wrong on a fact, okay? You know what that means? That is a colossal failure on the part of the press. There's no excuse for it. No. There is no excuse. Story in USA Today. Bush says he's made America safe. That's the headline.
Well, okay, James, you're talking about one
within
story.
the article are never goddamn mentioned in the goddamn headline.
All right, you know, it's impossible to talk to you about
because
something.
Here, I'll show it to you.
Whoa. I mean, USA Today, you're not talking about USA Today. You're talking about one...
Show the goddamn paper right here, okay?
What does
USA safer, Bush says. Picture, headline, USA safer, Bush says.
Okay.
USA Today, you suck balls. You are a terrible newspaper. You know what he did in that press conference yesterday and how we covered it? He lied over and over about how this is a war between Al-Qaeda and Iraq. It's not a war between Al-Qaeda and Iraq. It's a war between Shiites and Sunnis. Civil war that we're stuck in. And what does the USA Today incompetent losers say? USA safer, Bush says. That is a lie. They've done a terrible job. Every one of these editors in every major newspaper, in every major magazine, in every major television news organization should be fired today. 43% of Americans believe that Saddam Hussein was personally involved with 9/11. That is the worst failure of the mainstream press I have ever seen. Ever seen. And why do you think now 58% of Americans are opposed to the Iraq War? Do you know what that number would be if 43% of them didn't think Saddam Hussein did 9/11? That number would be like 3%. God damn it, they failed us. And if you're not angry about that, Michael, and any of you out there, then you're goddamn wrong, because you should be angry.
Those weapons of mass destruction got to be somewhere. Nope, no weapons over there. Maybe under here. Maybe I'm missing something here. I mean, we're going to have kind of a nation-building corps from America? Absolutely not. Our military is meant to fight and win war. That's what it's meant to do. And when it gets overextended, morale drops. But I'm going to be judicious as to how to use the military. It needs to be in our vital interest, the mission needs to be clear, and the exit strategy obvious. And nobody's ever suggested in this administration that Saddam Hussein ordered the attack. Iraq was a